Okay, so where are we now?
We are in Zeist.
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 At the Sionskerk.
Uh-huh.
It's a modern church built in 1948, when I'm correct. It is a Protestant church with very nice acoustics, as you will explore later.
Exciting. Exciting.
Yeah.
We also have some construction workers in the background.
Oh yeah.
This lovely spring day in Zeist.
Zeist.
Zeist. I will never learn that. Ah, thank you. Wow. This is different. Wow.
Yeah. It is.
That reminds me a bit of... it's almost like a railway station in the roof.
Yeah.
Are they steel or are they made to look like steel?
It is steel.
It is steel?
Yeah.
That's just wonderful.
Yeah. And the wood is just looking like a boat.
Yeah. And what a lovely preacher position to be in acoustically with that screen behind the
Yeah, we call it the spoon.
The spoon, yeah. I want to try that.
Yeah, sure.
We'll do that later.
Yeah.
And then what do we have here?
This is the Flentrop organ, built in 1978.
Yeah.
And we did a renovation of it, October 2019. All the pipes out, cleaning, overhaul, and a complete revoicing. Yeah. The intention of the original builder was to build an organ which would sound like 18th century organ, but we think they didn't succeed by then. Yeah, so we changed it, removed all the nicks in the language, and now it sounds like an older Baroque organ.
But it's, I mean, it's built 1978.
Yeah.
So would it be considered, what part of the sort of organ movement would it be part of? Well,
just after the Neo-Baroque period, it's not the correct name for that period, but it's how we call it now. Yeah. It is a new orientation on historical organ building. This is one of the examples of the first orientation of historical organs, but still with modern materials and a voicing that we now think of could do better.
Exciting.
Yeah. So it's not neo-baroque, it's not completely classical. It's I think they wanted an organ that sounded like an organ from 1750 or so. Yeah. And we hope it does now. Yeah.
So can we go up?
We can.
Yeah.
This door.
This is also like climbing aboard on a boat.
Yeah. It is. Yeah.
The same feeling. Okay. Wow.
Here it is. As you can see, it is the main case with the hoofdwerk and pedaal. And the case at the back is the rugwerk. Rook positief. Yeah.
And what do we have here? Oh, so it's two manual. How many stops are we talking?
I didn't count them.
No.
I think it's about 18,
yeah,
17.
Looks like something like that.
3 couplers, terminant. Yeah. Well,
I mean, talking about stops and stop lists, would you consider the combination of different stops as a stop in itself?
yeah, sometimes when you have a blending in stops, it sounds like a new stop.
I would suggest that.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah.
So we could call it 24 stops.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see what names we come up with.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I want to hear this.
Well, let's switch it on.
Why is it that the fan is making a huge noise when you put it on?
Well, yeah, it needs to blow the wind in the bellow.
Oh yeah, start filling it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And after that, the curtain in the canal closes.
Uh-huh.
So
That's why.
when it's up, you hear that sound.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And it is a blower without a case. It's just standing in the organ, so
Okay.
it's a little bit noisy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But downstairs you can't hear it.
So what did we start with? Do you always have to start with the prestant? Is that
No.
the fashion?
Yeah, but it is the main stop. You know, it means prestare, standing in front, principal, yeah, president. It's all about the same. So it is the main and the most important stop of the organ. So that's why we mostly start with that.
But sometimes we save the best for last.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm just thinking.
we can. We can start with 2 whole pipes.
Yeah.
We have 2 of them.
Let's do it.
Yeah. There's one at the grate and one at the back, and they are in voicing a little bit different. Those pipes are a little bit more speechy.
And for someone who really doesn't know what a speechy pipe is, what would you?
Well,
How can you explain that?
I think you can hear it. I will look up some. You know, the tone always have a starting. There is always some noise going on before you hear the stationary tone. That's what we call speech.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you hear a little bit of speech
Yeah.
in here. That's what we call speech.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I find it a very interesting part of the tone.
It is I think the most important part of the tone. It starts with the speech and then you hear the tone. Especially when you play a lot of Baroque music, you don't have very long tones mostly, so it's very really important to have a nice speech. Makes it more attractive to listen to. Yeah. Well, we have 2 whole pipes.
So they come into. I mean, you have these 2 manuals, these possibilities. How often do you use the dialoguing between the same family in music making?
Well, yeah, this organ is built for congregational singing, and sometimes when a song is not very known by the people, you need one manual to accompany the other one. For example, like this. Also use it in a trio sonata of Bach, for example, like this. Then it's a dialogue. Yeah.
Certainly.
Yeah. So I can use it in many ways. Since we started to demonstrate the flutes, there's a nice one, 4-foot flute at the back. nice.
Oh, hold on a second. Why is it that this 4-foot flute makes me just want to dance? I just want to dance in a big circle with people. You know, it's just, what is it?
Well, maybe the music I played on it.
That's part of it?
Yeah, it has a friendly, nice sound. Yeah, I'm not sure where it comes from. Just the sound. I think.
Yeah, and you were directly talking to the pipes now. You were talking to the register. Yeah. That is how personal it is.
Yeah, maybe it is.
Yeah, I think so. Lovely, thank you.
Yeah.
And going back to the whole pipe. Of the whole pipe. Whole pipe.
Yeah.
I'm trying to learn Dutch. What is the construction of the whole pipe?
It is a white flute, stopped with a hat on it. Well, I can actually open it.
Oh, it would be nice to see.
Then we can see it. I think I have to switch on the light.
Sure.
Well, we have. You can see the stops over here. The first one is the Prestant 4, Principal 4. The facade pipes, and those are the pipes. The following pipes who couldn't stand in the facade. This is the whole pipe. This is the roerfluit 4, the 4-foot flute. The Gemshorn 2, conical one, wider over here and narrow there. This is the larigot, it's a flute, 1/3, and this is the dulcian.
And now we're mixing languages suddenly. Larigot, that's Francais.
Yeah, I don't know why it is called larigot,
No.
but yeah, it's called like that. Yeah.
And the rohrflöte, that's German, and you see the rohr sticking out of the pipe. What is it that, if you want, could you demonstrate the rohrflöte so we can hear the quality? And the whole flute? So how would you, this is very interesting I think, how can you discuss sound quality? How can you describe these different qualities of sound?
Well, the roerfluit, you can hear more overtones, higher tones in it, because it is half open. This roer, we call it roer in Dutch, is an open connection with the pipe. So the half of it will stay down and the other one will go out there. So it will sound more open.
Yeah.
And those are the stopped ones. So they will sound more, how you call it, groundly or more ground tones.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is a different. And the nice thing is when you combine them, they blend very well together. So we have two different sound types together. Yeah.
And what have you been doing with this organ? Retuning it, of course retuning, but also revoicing.
Yeah.
And what is revoicing for someone who doesn't know?
Revoicing, that is that you make the sound different than it was before. Yeah, you can do a lot of things.
Not only the pitch.
Not only the pitch, but also the speech, the character of the sound, and how it combines with other stops, the loudness. You can change a lot of things. For example, you can make this hole bigger or smaller. Well, you have here the language. You can put it a little bit up or down. You can make this. We call it kernspleet in Dutch.
Yes.
You can make it bigger or smaller. You can move the upper labium more to the fore or back.
And how do you do that? You have to solder and make it...
Well, you have a lot of tools for it.
Yeah. We will maybe come back to that later this afternoon to see your workshop. That would be nice.
Yeah.
And now you're doing something that people might be afraid of, because this is lead material.
Yeah.
So you're putting lead into your mouth.
No. It's a trick. I never put a pipe in my mouth.
Good. Some people say that you can, but I take it from you. You shouldn't.
Yeah, I think you can, but I'm used to do it like this. So
much better, I think.
Yeah. Don't take any risks.
So would you demonstrate different wind pressures? We've been discussing in the car. This is a low. You have lowered the wind pressure for this one.
Bit. Yeah. It is now 77 millimeters. It was 86.
Yeah. And if you blow into that pipe that you just did, can you demonstrate what happens if you have different wind pressure?
Yeah, I think I can better use a principal pipe by then. This is high pressure. This is low pressure. And when you lower the pressure, you will hear more speech in the pipe. And I really like a little bit of speech.
Yeah.
You hear a sort of attack.
Yeah.
It's gone when the...
Yeah. And it's almost flageoletting. It's bending over to the octave.
Exactly.
Yeah. And you can use that in modern music, for example. Very high pressure.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I never tried, but maybe you can.
No.
Yeah.
Not the topic of today.
I'm more old-fashioned.
I love this low pressure. I love it. It's also interesting what low pressure does for expressivity. Because one would think higher pressure would mean more possibility to express, and rather it's the opposite, right?
I think so. Yeah. Look, with low pressure, you have more speech, as I said. It makes a real difference in the tone. Yeah.
And also how we connect to sound as human beings, I think, is interesting to see when the sound is sculptured, like in a lower pressure, it's more nuanced. It's got more colors, and you're also emotionally more connected to it.
Yeah.
It's not about conquering; it's about seducing.
That's right. Yeah. I never thought about it like that.
No.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
Yeah, I'm from the side, you know.
Yeah.
And what can we say if we compare this piece of, what would you call it, art? It's actually organ art, what we're looking at. But if we just look at it as a piece of architecture for now, seeing this sculpture, it's a sculpture to me. It's really sculpturally beautiful to look at. And what about the handcraft of making this sculpture? Is it authentic, do you think? Do they actually copy things from the 1750s?
I think this is more like a fantasy.
It's a fantasy.
Yeah. There are details you cannot find in all the organs. For example, these screws.
Let me see here.
Yeah, and this metal here.
Oh, yeah.
It's not the old way.
No.
And the way the Winchesters made is also quite modern. Yeah. They didn't mind by then.
No.
But now they can make very nice organs.
So now we've seen the rygpositiv.
Yeah.
And it's rygg because it's your back.
Exactly.
So you have the sound bouncing off your back to the audience.
Yeah.
So you always have to carefully listen to the balance of the sound.
Mm-hmm. And how, I mean, people do this differently. I've heard people recording every combination with a tape recorder or an iPhone or whatever, and then listening at home, seeing what works. Is there a way to do it differently using?
I use my intuition.
Yeah, I was thinking.
And you can listen like this, for example, to the acoustics. Then you hear in the acoustics is one or the two too loud or too soft.
Yeah, because thinking about it, of course the sound is still in the room after you press the keys.
Yeah.
So you can stop and listen for it. Where does it go?
Yeah.
But you have to be acutely aware of what you're doing then. You have to sort of really sharpen your ears.
I think so, yeah.
So where were we? We were doing the whole pipe, and we're doing the rohrflute.
Yeah.
And we are doing the 4-foot flute.
Yeah, that was this one.
Yeah.
And then we have a 2-foot.
Uh-huh.
It's a conical one, so it's narrower at the top and wider at the bottom.
So, I don't hear a lot of concerts with a 2-foot alone. But I am sure you can do something.
Oh, yeah.
That's just wonderful. We need to resuscitate the 2-foot. We need to make it come back as a stop of its own.
Yeah, maybe.
It's just beautiful.
Sometimes I use the octave 2 as a solo. With the lowest octave.
So you're octaving down?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can use different solo stops with the octave 4 1 octave higher. And then with the principal 8 at the normal pitch.
And now we actually heard the principal 8 coming from up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the facade pipes on
Exactly.
the front of here. Yeah. Yeah. This is the lowest one over here.
Yeah. And this has been revoiced by you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really nice. Thank you. Really works.
Yeah, it's a nice organ now. It was a really loud organ without some subtle things. You like some very soft sound. And this was also bah, bah, bah. So we needed to do something about the voicing.
Can I go down and hear you play?
Sure.
I will do that.